Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Casually Plays. Today on second episode of Out of Ore, we have some things that we need to do. We need to try to look at possibly upgrading this generator to possibly maybe a solar or even a wind, and possibly look at getting a smelter. Basically what we can do is we can take the gold and stuff like that and create like bricks basically of all of the ore stuff. So I do have a load in here. Let's better check to see what we have for fuel. We don't have a whole lot of fuel left, but we are sitting at $12,000. So a couple of the other things is I'd like to get a faster pickaxe and maybe the faster shovel. So we'll see, but they are a little bit more expensive, but we're gonna have to get a couple loads of this going here. So let's get this first load dumped in and continue on our hole that we have started since last episode. And that kind of didn't seem like it was going the greatest, but we're going to kind of keep working at it. Kind of getting used to everything with the joysticks. I did kind of rearrange the stuff on my desk, kind of modified some of the stuff to make it hopefully work a lot better for me. So we'll head on in here. Let's see if we can get this stuff kind of leveled out in here. Kind of just gets away from you there. I'm still thinking that this is still possibly too steep. So we might have to start cutting some of this down and give us more of a gradual decline, incline here, because this front loader is not very good at making it up and down this ramp. Now it could be because the equipment is used. I'm pretty sure that this is a used piece of equipment. That's why we're kind of struggling to make ourselves any which way halfway decent at I don't know, getting up and down this thing. I mean, this thing should have no problem backing up. No problem. Now I don't know if it's just maybe a game issue, a mechanic physic issue. I'm not quite sure, but this thing should have no problem backing out of there. We'll just kind of keep working at it. Might have to start taking maybe more of the top surface until we can upgrade maybe to a bigger front loader. I'm kind of hoping maybe the bigger front loader gives us a little bit more horsepower, things like that. They are quite a bit more expensive. Like we're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I think maybe we could start scraping off the top of this over here. And I know things are pretty bumpy, but might as well just start taking some loads like this. At least we get some bigger loads into the loader over here. Probably just got a bunch of dirt on that load. Wonder what a solar panel. Maybe we could go to a solar panel right now. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what let's see, that's going to be under factory power. Okay, so our cheapest one, which is 300 kilowatts. What do we need total? Let's hop out and see what do we need total on this. Ooh, so we're going to need that one that's going to be like 40,000. We're going to need 30,000, excuse me. We're going to need that one right there to give us enough to operate our plant. So we got a little ways to go. Should check to make sure that we're not going to overload this hopper, which I think it takes quite a bit. We got 8,000 in there. I just don't want to get it to a point to where we potentially break something. Put dirt in there. We'll have that consume. Okay, let's just process this. Turn that up. Well, I gotta have this on first. We are low on fuel, so we'll have to watch that. We might just throw some more fuel in there. Let's go fuel. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Can't spell tonight, guys. Generator fuel. What's the difference? Nothing? And fuel. What's the difference? Does anybody know what the difference between the generator fuel and fuel? Let's see. Generator fuel. I don't think there's much of a difference. I don't think there was any difference. Okay, the plant is running, so we are separating. We're getting the coal, and the one closest to us and the one furthest away is getting the different ores out of the ground or out of the plant. So let's just get the camera right here. Let's back up a little bit. Maybe make a more of a gradual get go here. All right, let's back this thing up. We got some there. Now I think we're kind of working. I mean, we're gonna have to kind of just slowly work at that and make that more, like I said, a gradual thing. Because this, for one, we don't have the money. We got 10,000 right now that we're dealing with, so won't be able to afford anything nice anytime soon. I'm gonna have to work with this old little thing here. Now, I'm not quite sure. We could look in the inventory on this thing. Everything. Okay, so everything has a. Yeah, everything has like a percentage or a condition to it. So let's just double check, make sure there isn't something that's kind of goofy and you know, out of sorts. Maybe the tires is something, but nothing really looks like it needs to be fixed by any means. So let's just continue. Let's back up again and try to see if we can get this thing more gradual again. There we go. That might seem like it's a better cut in there, although it gets pretty steep there. We'll have to maybe level it out with the shovel. Okay, we don't want to go at an angle like that. We're kind of tipping. There we go. Whoa, we're sliding. This thing likes to slide. If you don't have that bucket just perfect, and I don't know, it tends to like want to dig in more than what it probably needs to. And then you get all sorts of kitty wampus like that. But we did get a fairly good load there, so. Not sure what this thing processes per like hour of material. There we go. Be really nice. We need to start getting ourselves some more of that pay dirt to really make this all no point intended pay off. All right, let's see if we can get this thing leveled a little bit. That was probably one of the better scoops there. We didn't really gouge into the ground. We're gouging into the side right now, but what can we do? Nothing's perfect. I know with the dual joystick, like running the backhoe or the excavator, is a lot more of the cat's meow with the dual joystick. I have a steering wheel, but I just have too much stuff on my desk to even want to set that up right now. And to use the WASD keys, I don't know. I could use them, but joystick, we'll get used to it. We'll get used to the joystick. All right, let's zoom out just a tad and maybe work on this here some more. Get ourselves a level. That wasn't too bad. And even if we got come and then back straight up and then try to go again. See if we can get anything here. We got a load, but oh, come on. Just can't quite get that thing, you know, to where I want it, leveled. Kind of some tight quarters. I could have probably started working further over, but well, let's see what we have here. I probably think we probably don't have too much going on in here. We still have to process that, so that's done working. We need to let this finish out. We got there. That's just your pass through. We got some coal. What do we have in our... We do have some ore stuff, and then this should just be dirt. Okay. And that's done. So let's go shut the generator off. We'll get this thing kind of filled back up. Whoops. Yep, turn off. There we go. We only got 80 liters left. Dang. Well, let's work on this a little bit more and see what we can do. And I won't let you guys have to do the pain, agonizing watching me do this, but we'll get a couple loads. Try to level this out. We'll get it loaded up in there. And before we start anything up, we'll make sure that we come back so you guys can see everything. But I'm just going to work on this and try to get this all leveled out. Okay, well, we got a couple loads into here. We did make this semi better, but give me a little bit of time and I will probably mess this up again. So I think we're getting somewhere with this. I really don't know for sure. It is still pretty bumpy. I know we've only gotten a couple of scoops out of here since I kind of left you there, but it's just, it takes a little bit of practice to get where we want to go and to try to get this so that way we can get up and out of this little hole that we got, which we do kind of lose a little bit of our pay dirt, or our load that we have with in the bucket. But this is the best that I can get at this point. So it's just going to be kind of one of those working struggles that we got to kind of struggle through together. And hopefully we can get to that point where we can, you know, I don't know. We'll keep working at this. Then it gets bumpy just like that. Then I can't get out. Like, we should have no problem backing out of this stinking thing. Come on, old girl. You got this. There we go. That was probably one of the best backing out of that we've done in a little while. I know it didn't look like much, but it was something. All right, well, let's hop out. I think I need to get some more diesel fuel, which we're already at $10,000. So let's grab ourselves another 21. It goes so fast. Turn that on and that on. We'll get this stuff shaking through there. We'll come on over here. Maybe we'll collect ourselves the ore. We'll let that actually cycle through. What do we got in here? We just got regular dirt. Does this go up to like 10,000? I wonder if this goes up to 10,000 or 999. And we got coal there. So coal's actually worth halfway decent amount of money. That's still processing. We got 2,000 I don't know, is it yards? 2,000 yards? That's quite a bit. I don't know if it'd be 2,000 yards in that thing, but the animations, I do like the animations. I'm enjoying this game. It's a learning curve. Like, I understand the concept, but it's just definitely, every game has its own learning curve. So it gets stuck at 999. We'll take that because we might as well just sell that. We'll just leave that in there. Don't want to waste more. We don't want to waste more stuff that. Whoops. Didn't want to get in there, but we'll back this up so I can take a look just to make sure that we're not going to be wasting any diesel fuel. Kind of get this shut off. So got about 1,300 yards. I think it's yards. If that's how we're looking at this, is yards. And I think we could probably just shut this off for right now. Look at that. Off. All right. Let's go grab our stuff and clean this stuff out. We'll have some coal in here, so that way we can sell that. 2,000 coal. Grab ourselves our ores. And our dirt is fine. So let's head on over and sell this stuff and see where we're ending up as far as money-wise goes. Let's see. We could process this into diamonds, but let's sell that stuff. We'll sell 20,000. Okay, for the coal. So we got 20,000 for the coal. 13, almost 14,000 for the dirt. 5,000, almost 5,200 for gold. 1,800, 1,200, and 9. So if we're sitting at 52. What are we sitting at? So what do we have for? What did we say? 31 is what we need for the solar panel, right? Production, oops, power. So we need the 500 kilowatt right now. $800. So this is where we'd probably want to go. So we could purchase that. We'll purchase that and we'll take... See, we can't take the fuel out of that, but we could might as well just... Oops. We can take that and then let's put our solar panel. Like so. And that should give us enough. You can almost just let that run forever. I mean, other than when the sun goes down. But, okay, we can sell, I think, yeah, let's sell the generator because we don't need that right now. And I feel like when we get to that point, we'll have enough to when we will need to sell it. But we can look at that smelter. Where did buildings? Smelter. Purchase the smelter. All right. Can we fit? Let's see. I'd like to rotate that. Might have to. What do we have in here? Do we have any? We do have some floors, so we could throw down some floors. Well, this is going to kind of look kind of weird. Snap. Snap. Can I get it? Can I get it? I might have to chop this down a bit. Floors. There we go. Why is that not snapping? Snap, please. Okay, well, let's try this. Let's dig this down some more. Snap. There we go. All right, now can we... Which way does that dump out? There we go. All right, so we got that. We could... Let's take everything out of here so we don't lose it. And then we'll move this. Not quite sure where we can put that baby. Okay, well, we could go... We should probably go out this way. There. There and there. And hopefully... Oh, I don't like... We'll just put it right there. I don't like how the snap building kind of throws everything. Sometimes we'll throw like your items off, it seems like. All right, let's get these back into here. Dirt blocks, we can put them down here. We don't need them right now. Put that up there. All right. Well, we need to start making some more. We did get ourselves the smelter. We upgraded ourselves to the solar panel, which we'll just let that thing run. Now it is time to start feeding the plant like we've never fed it before. Let's go. Before we hop down in there, I do want to grab the shovel. And what we're going to do is we're just going to patty cake the ground a little bit. Maybe level some of this stuff out so we're not getting ourselves such big, like, bumps to try to go over. We'll eventually get the hang of this. It's the growing pains that we have trying to learn this game. That doesn't look too bad. Maybe something like this. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look too terribly bad. There's like a little hill like right here. All right, let's try that. See if we can get ourselves going with this. Get ourselves... Be nice to kind of get down to the bottom. Rather than trying to dig more on the ramp, we just kind of... Something like so. Without messing up our hill. Because I think maybe that's part of our problem is we're trying to go down and we can't start gouging everything. And it creates such big little ruts. Big little. Creates such big ruts that we can't seem to get ourselves up and over those little humps. All right, can we get back in time before that little load of pay dirt gets processed? Get a little bit of speed, maybe? I don't want to tip this thing over. Kind of like what we're doing. Like as soon as this thing hits like just the smallest of little hills, it like loses its power. Oh, come on. Now look at me. I got stuck. I feel like Austin Powers. And of course, we're low on fuel. I just wanted to see if we can't even... There we go. It's like we can't even back up. Kind of a poochy little piece of equipment is this. It's got better climbing power that way. I would say potentially driving forward up and out of the hill is going to be... Don't count my chickens before they hatch. Come on. We better put some fuel in this thing before we decide to continue on. All right, well, obviously, I think if you were to drive up that thing but not turn around like we did down on the bottom, you would probably be better off, you know, driving up it rather than trying to back up it, because you have all that weight basically in the front. If that makes sense when you're backing up or down below. I don't know. It's working backwards. So we'll try to come back down in here again. See what we got. See what we can do. Maybe widen this out just a tad. Get what we get. Don't throw a fit, right? That's what we tell the kids. Get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I think we save up. Let's take a look and see what we have. Since we kind of have things for the most part where, you know, what we want right now, let's look at our vehicles. What do we have for a bigger end loader? I know we have excavators, but they're extremely expensive. So we're kind of looking at like 100. This one will be later on, but we're looking at about 126,000 for the next. I would say, wait, 204 horsepower, 259 horsepower. So this one has more horsepower? 259, 204. We might need to just go with the big gusto. Go with that big boy right there. Alright, well, we got a lot of saving to do. Got a lot of saving to do. So, like I said, we got a lot of stuff to process through this. See if we can process it. I would say the coal, for the most part, seems like it's a better moneymaker at this point in time where we're at than anything else. The gold's nice, but until we can efficiently get ourselves enough dirt to the plant fast enough, you know, coal might be what we want to look at here. And we might not get a whole lot that goes through that little wash plant. You'll get some. So maybe we just focus our efforts right now on some of this on the left-hand side, some of this coal. Kind of dig ourselves a spot here, like that. Because we did make quite a bit with that coal compared to the ore that we're pulling out of here. So there is a lot more to this game than just coal and pay dirt. We just haven't. We're just touching literally the surface of this game. You can, for the most part, you can. You know, we could dig a hole through that side of that mountain. We could cut down that mountain from the top all the way down. Gravel, coal. You can build buildings. You can. There's a lot of things you can do. A lot of things you can do. We just, like I said, we haven't hit the surface yet. Or we've just hit the surface. Come on. Come on. I feel like I'm pulling back like harder on the joystick, like trying to get it to move. You know, some of the other things, I know it would be more work, but you could also possibly get yourself like a little excavator. Not a little excavator. Get yourself an excavator, dig yourself the stuff out of the ground, and make yourself a pile. But then, as of right now, we don't have the funds to be able to process all that stuff. To be able to, fuel cost would just be astronomical. You know, this thing uses a lot of fuel pretty quick. Probably should have smoothed that out a little bit. We still can. We still can. We're going to smooth. Nope. Smooth. Smooth. We need to purchase ourselves that fast pickaxe and the fast shovel. And what we're going to do is we're going to purchase that like right now. Vehicles, factories, equipment. All right, where did that go? Fast pickaxe. They are expensive. That's $8,500, but it will come in handy. We're going to sell that one. The shovel, $3,500, but we're going to sell the shovel. So we got both fast pickaxe and the fast shovel. So a lot quicker. Oh yeah, now we're going to be moving. Which is what we think. I think what we need, right? So like this, and then let's get in that puppy and see what we can do. Come on, come on, come on. Let's lower this down just a bit. Might lose ourselves a little bit out of the bucket, which is unfortunate. It will be nice though that we don't have to worry about the fuel for the generator, and we're just going to rely on that solar panel. So that will come in handy. That will be nice. All right, let's see if we can. Come on. There we go. About just a little bit over half a bucket, which is not great, but it is better than it is better than trying to sit there and struggle with getting ourselves out, I guess. All right, couple more loads, I think. Kind of just continue to widen this out a little bit here. Because like I said, I think if we get to that point where we can, we get to that point where we can like turn around down here, will be a heck of a lot better. And hopefully drive right on out of here. That struggle is real though. That little hump right there, that thing is real. That is a real struggle. Well, let's let that empty out. Let's run over to this storage and check and see what we have. So 3,000 liters. I don't know why I keep saying liters. I think it's 3,000. I don't know. What are we going? Pounds. So 22 pounds, quite valuable. So you're telling me there's only 22 pounds worth of coal right there? Is that what? I guess I don't know. Maybe the weight system isn't completely up and running right now. Let's just sell that. What do we get? 34,000. All right. Yeah, coal is definitely where it's at. Going to get us, I think, in the right direction for sure. So let's keep working at that coal. Get ourselves a couple more loads in there. And we should be able to do kind of a little payday with the ores with the wash plant over there. They see me roll, and that right there, my gentlemans, was the best. We didn't lose anything. That was the best load right of the day. And we just about tipped it over the the side of that there, which that would have not been good at all. Okay, well, let's try to do that one more time, two more times. All right, so we did lose a little bit left on, or a little bit on that one, which is all right. We're still a little over 3/4 of a bucket. Not too shabby. I'd say let's grab 2 more buckets. We're gonna do a clean out of the coal, and we'll do a clean out of the ore, the wash plant over there. Just back straight out. Straight out. You got this, old Betty. You got this, old Bessie. Another good bucket. Another good bucket coming out of there. Probably wouldn't hurt to maybe level that thing out one more time, especially down there where we got some pretty large, pretty large ruts down there. One of the things we could probably do is we could probably, to give us some more room, we could probably kind of move this plant in a different direction so we're not sitting here making sure that we don't fall off the edge like this. That was close. We're going to hop out. We're going to smash the ground again, level things out. I think that's going to be kind of the key, especially here in the beginning of everything, kind of making sure that the ground is definitely level. Otherwise, I think we'll run into major issues if we do not. All right, that seems to be okay. Let's come back into there. Get down to the bottom. Like so. Some of that's going to be dirt, but that's all right. Another good load. So we're getting some pretty good loads out of here. I'm feeling better about this whole situation. Not sure about you guys, but I'm feeling better. All right, get that thing dumped in there. We got one more bucket, two more buckets. I kind of lost count. We'll do two more buckets for right now. Then we'll see where we're sitting at there. There we go. Get ourselves flat and then dig in. Okay, there we go. Drop that down just a tad. Well, I think we're kind of to the point where we're able to load this fast enough that everything is still... Oh, nope. I take that. I digress, my comment. I was going to say, I think we load this up fast enough that everything... you know, we're fast enough that we're dumping enough in there that the plant is continuously working. But in order to do that, I think we're going to have to load ourselves up some, you know, load this up a little bit more. So let's see what we got here. So that's empty. That's empty. And that one's going to be empty there. Okay. We'll let all of that stuff finish doing what it needs to do. We'll grab this, which not quite to what we had before, so it's going to be pretty close. We'll grab that dirt, and we'll grab a little bit of that ore. Let's see what we can do with that smelter. I would like to see what we can stick in that smelter and see what we can, if there's anything that we can possibly make. So let's see here. Gold, ore. So how many of those can we make? All right, so is it one? So we got 30. Okay, so we can make... can be used to make things or be sold. All right, so let's maybe... What is this one? Silicon ore, which is going to be what? Silver? Iron? I have no idea. No, copper. Ooh. Is that right? We can make copper? No, I can't even move that stuff. Material. Okay, so let's see what we can make out of that one. 4. And doesn't look like we can make enough out of there. So let's just make another one of some more of those. So we'll get that thing going. Nice. We don't need to do anything with that at the moment. All right, so we're smelting some stuff, which is phenomenal. Let's sell this for 22,000. We'll sell some dirt. We don't need the dirt anymore. All right, we are sitting at a grand total of 65,600. No, 65,500. So that, I feel good. I feel good, guys. Well, we are going to have to call that it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. And as always, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.